W's and L's, the weekly recap show. We give it up to the things that we like and the L to the things that we don't. It's on you. Back in there.
All right. First dub I want to give out, first and foremost, explain the shizzer. Yesterday we had a little shindig for my baby girl turned 1 yesterday.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Hazel.
Yep.
For her first birthday.
That's my new nickname for her.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
good time outside
good time.
for sure.
For sure.
So we get on the horse. First up I got is going out to the Michigan Portal Editions. So just when in the midst of having, I don't know, most annoying off-season conversation I'd had so far about excuse me, Michigan's the worst off-season of any national championship team. Now, I fully intended on researching the off-seasons for other national championship teams. And then I was actually going to narrow that search down even further, because I was so sure of myself, down to teams that lost their coach after winning the national championship. The season after. Mm-hmm. There's no need to do any of that. Because the most relevant thing to this next up-and-coming season, when you're talking about defending a national championship, is being competitive on the field. I don't think high school recruiting makes you more competitive on a season-over-season basis than portal additions and retaining roster. Michigan already checked the box of retaining roster, obviously. On the portal side, things have been a bit slow. Things were trickling in very slowly. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, portal additions ignite. Wesley Walker, Jaden Mangum from Michigan State, stole another one from the rivals. Got Amir Hall, All-American out of the FCS. Sure up the corner spot that was opened up by Waller when he went and took the bag and went to Kentucky. Also, got the transfer from UNLV, whose name escapes me. He was committed to go to Washington State. Lamar Morgan said, let me have that. Lamar Morgan's on fire. Sure is up to secondary. And now we're hearing whispers of Javier Suggs may be questioning his decision to go to LSU. There are other guys from, I think it's another FCS guy, 6'3", 300 at the defensive line, looking at our last portal, kind of sure up spot there. And that's a fourth defensive lineman. Right, kind of hard to convince a guy who wants to start to come play behind Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, and Rayshawn Benny. But Michigan's on their way of doing it. So now Michigan's steaming into the real offseason, which is fall camp, with every single position on the field shored up outside of quarterback. Every single position on the field, stay you a quarterback. And I will grant you that quarterback is still a question just because we haven't seen him start a game. Every other position on the field is shored up at this point outside of quarterback. Now, ask me, since it's the worst offseason of any national championship team, how many other teams I feel like are even close to that position coming into next year?
I wouldn't go so far as to say the worst for a national championship.
Oh, you wouldn't?
I didn't say that.
You
yesterday.
wouldn't go so far as
I didn't say that yesterday.
You didn't say that they had the worst offseason of any national championship team?
No, I said they're having one of the worst off seasons.
You said the worst. You did not say one of. You did not qualify it at all.
And then when I brought up the national championship thing, that was specifically after saying the recruiting thing.
Fam, you said we were having the worst offseason of any national champion.
I don't have the data for that to specifically.
Oh, I knew you didn't have it. That's why I said it.
I don't. But it's one of them. It's a pretty tough offseason.
How, fam?
For all the reasons I mentioned yesterday.
Dog.
Because even those additions don't add up to losing what you've lost.
Are you talking about personnel? Like players?
Both. Coaching personnel and players.
Josh.
Wesley Welker, or whatever the fuck his name is, doesn't add up to losing Blake Corum.
Okay, why are we mix matching positions?
because you didn't get in at running back.
We lost Mike Samerstill, and then Rod Moore went down for the season. We added Jangam Mangum, who was a All Big Ten honorable mention last year as a freshman.
Okay.
Right, and then we added Wesley Walker, who had a pretty good career at Tennessee before transferring to Louisville. I don't know what the fuck happened at Louisville.
He did a couple transfers.
He don't want to go.
But that doesn't matter.
He never played at Louisville. He started his career at Georgia Tech, played at Tennessee where he has the most of his game film.
Mm-hmm.
Transferred to Louisville, didn't work out there, never played a game in Louisville. Now he's in Michigan.
Sure. Yeah.
So really,
well, also you lost Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson.
We sure did.
So one receiver is not making up for.
We got a Marion Walker back to play receiver. We got the transfer from Youngstown State, and then all of the receivers that are being put in to their starting positions this year, you saw play last year. You saw Tyler Morris play in the postseason last year. You saw Samaj Morgan play in the postseason last year. And when we talk about Michigan's
I hate
receivers,
Samaj Morgan.
I know you do. I know you do.
Oh, I
keep hating him.
I will.
Keep hating him.
I will.
And whenever we talk about Michigan receivers, we always just kind of forget that Michigan has the best tight end in the country. We always just kind of let it float to the back of our mind as if we're not going to throw the ball to the best tight end in the country. When we look at Georgia and we talk about their passing game, the first name out of your mouth for the last 3 years has been Brock Bowers.
Sure.
Somehow we don't get that same kind of love. Don't understand it, but it's okay.
But we were talking about wide receivers.
They can march out Brock Bowers and Lat McConkey, and everything's fine. We got Samaj Morgan, we got Tyler Morris, we got Marion Walker, we got all of these young guys, right, ready for an opportunity, and that got to play last year in big moments. But they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing over there.
I'll be honest about this. Most of those names don't strike fear in me, but only because I haven't seen them.
I mean,
do what they need to do.
Colston Loveland should absolutely strike fear.
I wasn't including him. I was including Samaj Morgan.
The wide receivers. And that's my only point was that all of the position groups are sold up. And most teams can't say that. Actually, the majority of teams cannot say that. Okay. Even at this later date. Okay. So for it to be the worst offseason of any national championship team, we in a pretty damn good spot, the way I view it.
Okay. I mean, that's also one of those things that we can't ultimately judge until...
Oh, we'll see. We will definitely see.
Yeah. For sure.
We will definitely see.
For sure.
All right. Next dub I got is going out to Jasmine Crockett, representative. Crockett, excuse me. I don't know where she's from. Doesn't matter for this context. Anyways, I'm sure everybody has already picked up on the viral spat that happened between her and the House of Representatives there with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mm-hmm. Miss Greene, or Representative Greene, made a comment about Representative Crockett's
She's from Texas.
Eyelashes. Okay. From Texas. That fits. I see it. Probably Houston. Yeah, there we go. Yep, got it. Bingo. She made a comment about her eyelashes. They attempted to censure Representative Taylor Greene over those comments where the ultimate vote decided on the chairman. He decided not to censure her. So in response to that, Ms. Crockett responded back. She says, well, I just wanted to know if I were to say somebody has a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body, would that be engaging in personalities? Would that be wrong as well?
You did it better in practice before. One more time. Give it one more time.
My God. Bleach blonde, bad-built, damn it. God damn it. Bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body.
There you go.
Bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body.
You got it now. All right.
If I were to say that someone has a bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body, would that be engaging in personalities? I might record that, make it my ringtone.
She was speaking the truth.
It was amazing.
It was. It was a good moment for us. It was almost up there with the chair in Alabama. Almost up there.
Oh, no. I mean, it wasn't that big, no.
I said almost. I don't know. I said almost. Mm-hmm. That was a good moment.
The chair in Alabama on the dock?
That was a good moment.
Oh, come on.
It was a good moment.
Man, that was for the ancestors. This one was just a little bit of petty dabs going back and forth.
But it was so public. Everybody knows it. We not to be fucked with. Or we call you out your name. Good moment. At least a good moment.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure I'm still not likening it to Montgomery, Alabama. Right?
If Montgomery is number 1, this is right outside of the top 10.
Okay, I can take that. I can take that. Here we go. On to my L list. Let's start out with Amazon. Jeff Bezos. So, we all know that AI has been playing a major role in our lives here the last couple of years, part of a big AI boom,
Yes.
GPT and all different type of algorithms popping up for people to use for different type of uses. We all know that Amazon is one of the corporate overlords of the earth.
Of course.
That they would adopt AI like no other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? One of the main models for why there's so many of those self-checkout fucks are all over these stores now. If you go to the, there is a CVS off of, what street is that?
Mason Moore's?
No.
Mason,
It's in
Mason Moore's?
Gahanna. It's in Gahanna. Which street is that? Agler. All the way down Agler. It's a CVS on that street. They got self-checkouts in the CVS.
Yeah, they do. They've had those for a minute too, actually.
Fam, what? In the drugstores?
At least
it ain't but 2 cashiers that work in this mug anyway.
At least a couple, about 3 or 4 years now.
Nasty work.
Yep.
Nasty work.
So there's basically 1 or 2 people working
in the entire store. Yeah,
and then
trash.
pharmacy workers.
Trash. Absolute trash. Anyways, so Amazon took that idea and just expanding it times 1,000, had AI grocery stores where you were supposed to, just walk in. There's no people, nobody, no oversight. You just get your stuff, you check out, boom, 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 or you charge it to your Prime account. Sounds very futuristic, right? Sounds very.
I thought at one point they were working on something where you didn't even have to scan it. You just
didn't have to scan it. Yeah,
they knew who you were. And
go. Yeah, they got you. We're not going to. You don't want to be treated like a criminal over there at Walmart? Come on over to Amazon. Get your groceries at Amazon. Only problem is it was complete horseshit.
Oh.
Right? The stores are set up with 1 million cameras of people working remotely, watching you pick up the stuff and accounting for the stuff that you're taking. And then when you have problems checking out, there's a person who zooms in and helps you check out with your food. So, no, the people aren't there, but they're absolutely there. So, hold on. The excuse for a long time of that was, you have to have humans teach the AI system. They have to learn what it is they need to do. It's a self-learning AI. Sounds like perfectly acceptable bullshit, right?
Right.
Except the stores are closing.
Oh.
Stores are closing.
That's
Never got to a point of self-sufficiency ever.
That's a problem.
Stores closed. Some might have said it was a sham to begin with.
For sure.
Because you mean to tell me you can't take 6 months to a year to go through testing and train the systems before you unroll it to the general public?
Yeah.
You mean you had these stores open for people to buy shit in, and it was just a concept?
It didn't actually work. It was just people doing it behind the scenes.
Oh, man.
You
keep on doing that shit, Bezos. People might find out you ain't smart, bro.
Facts.
You might just find out that you're only rich.
I liked it at first because it was like, okay, well, behind the scenes, they're actually giving jobs to people, but store closed, it's over.
Store's closed. Scrap concept. So, yeah, shout out to Amazon.
Yikes.
I got one more political take and I'll leave politics alone. Don't ever want to let two things slide when I have the opportunity to talk about it. So, AIPAC, political organization that is, huge advocate of the state of Israel, is an American lobbying association, though. And they got caught up in Oregon, in a congressional race in Oregon, funneling some dark money. I won't walk you through all the details because it is a rather long story. If anybody's inclined or wants to read up on this particulars of the story, Ryan Grimm of The Intercept wrote pretty extensively about it. So check him out. Check that article out. But the gist of it is there was a candidate out there named Maxine Dexter, who is a pro-Israel candidate, right? Which usually what we've seen, at least from the left-leaning ones here recently, comes with the pro-Israel propaganda handbook, right? The Israel has the right to defend themselves, and we are fighting terrorists and animals and all that other stuff. Now I'm not sure how far her rhetoric is going that way. She's definitely pro-Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't represent herself that way during the race. Didn't disclose that she got money from AIPAC. Got it through a shell corporation that is accused of being ran by AIPAC. AIPAC has neither confirmed or denied in their statement about this whether or not they're actually funneling the money through them. What they said is, AIPAC funds a lot of candidates, including MAGA Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they playing both sides of the fence to me. But even if you're going to do that, I believe that type of shit should be above board, and you got to put your name on it.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that's what they think as well, then why are they making shell corporations to funding money to candidates?
Makes sense.
I mean, it's blatant enough. They do it to guys like John Fetterman, and nobody bats an eye. So why would, if they felt like this was okay, why would they need the shell corporation?
Yeah, bro, stand on business.
I like this, L. I think you'll like this one too.
Could be.
You'll like this one too. So I'm giving Gene Smith, former athletic director of Ohio State, and
I knew it was gonna be some bullshit
for being a, oh my god, just a
can't catch a break this week.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Gene Smith has an interview, one of his last as an athletic director at Ohio State. Gets asked a planted question, if I've ever seen a planted question. Do you believe that the last 3 years where you've lost to your rival and they eventually went on to win a national championship, as you're losing to a second-rate SEC team in a bowl game you didn't want to be in? Do you believe that these last 3 years for Michigan should have an asterisk? Now, any true competitor, any impropriety aside, anybody who lined up and competed for any amount of time would say, listen, especially if you yourself were not involved directly in that competition that he's speaking on. Gene Smith ain't no fucking player. He never put on no helmet and going out there and suited up for the Buckeyes and played Michigan in 21, 22, or 23.
Mm-hmm.
His stake in there goes as far as his employment does.
Sure.
Let me finish my thought about that. Any competitor would leave that type of nonsense to the side and be a competitor and take your lumps. You don't want to be up there whining and crying and begging for favor and begging for people to be on your side, even though the most viewed games for the last 3 years have been the ass whooping that you got at the hands of your rival for 3 years. So people don't want to hear this. Not even just Michigan fans. I believe there should be an asterisk. I do. I believe we should look at those games differently. Yeah, even though our own coaching staff reported that we knew about this a year further and changed our signs because we knew. So really, 2 out of the 3 years, we had advanced knowledge of your advanced knowledge, so it was null and void. But it still should be an asterisk on all 3 years. Even though this year the entire college football world knew, and it had almost an entire season in between when people found out and when we played. But it's still an asterisk because we're Ohio State. And there's no way that Michigan could have usurped us like this while I was here.
I just don't care about that anymore. I'm ready to get to some football. I'm ready to win a national championship.
No, not Gene Smith.
Gene
Smith's not ready to get to that. Gene Smith.
He should also be like, I don't give
Gene Smith is trying to doctor his legacy on the way out because he's going out a loser. He's going out a loser. The last time they won a national championship was in 2015 during another coaching regime. He's going out a loser. He's going out while Ohio State is either at a plateau or on their way down. Not when they're at the top of the mountain, dick swinging. So he has to pamper his legacy on the way out.
But that's Gene Smith's legacy, and ultimately, like, come on, man. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, man, I just hope that... Well, you know what? Actually, let me take what I was about to say back. I hope and pray that loser energy trickle down. I hope and pray that everybody within the Woody thinks exactly like Gene Smith.
Well, of course
I hope y'all sit around walking and
do.
talking to each other like, damn, bro, we would have had 2 national championships if they ain't cheat us. We would have had them
Of
Big Ten
course you hope
championship
that.
rings if they ain't cheat us.
But on the other side, they're probably thinking like me. I don't give a fuck about that. Let's get to November right now.
I hope that brain
Let's get to November
came
right
all
now.
the way down to the players.
Ready to fuck these
I
niggas
hope some
up
of y'all
north
believe
up.
that. I hope y'all believe it.
Ready to fuck them up in November.
All right, last few. DJ Akademiks got a charge, y'all, or a case, not a charge, a case.
Yeah. Yep.
DJ Akademiks got a case. The young lady who went viral a few months ago, when she reacted to a story that Ak was telling about a time where he got woke up at his house in the middle of the night and his homeboys was leaving and he went and checked the security footage and they was running a train on a girl he was trying to talk to. Which always sounded nuts in the first place.
Yeah.
It always sounded nuts in the first place.
Yep.
Well, now this young lady is suing Ak for SA. And the story she's given is that not only did that happen, but Ak as well.
Like a separate incident.
It's separate incidents, yeah. So, I mean, look, I don't know how big Ak House is. I don't know what the situation is. Couple things about his account felt off to me. Number one, you fell asleep with the girl that you wanted in your house and she didn't fall asleep with you or around you. Okay, so that's weird, number one. Number two, your homeboys wake you up. Hey, bro, we about to leave. We about to be out. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. I'll see y'all later. You immediately check the security cameras? Like, fam, why?
Because he don't trust them.
Why you just had these niggas in your house then? Yeah, what the?
Supposedly, I would assume.
But that's
the only reason you would do something like that.
I was about to say, that just might be like a personality thing. Like, I don't usually have people in my house while I'm sleeping that I can't trust.
Yeah.
But that's, maybe a personal thing.
Yep.
Upon seeing that your homeboys, the homeboys that you can't trust to be in your house alone, upon them leaving and you going back to check the security cameras, you see them running a train on your girl and you told the world about it?
Doesn't make sense.
There is a scenario where he lets that story out preemptively as an explanation to what she might say.
There is.
Like him saying that prefaces anything she might say about sexual assault because he already talked about it. Because that little talk that he had came out right before the turn of the year. It was in like December or some shit like that.
Yeah. We talked about it when we were on break.
It was like in December. And then all of this came about a couple weeks ago.
I feel like a lawyer would tell you to shut up.
Oh, according to him, his lawyers have told him he can say just enough because he believes that the one that's the lawyer that's representing her is one of those YouTube lawyers.
That's admissible evidence.
But I'm saying he thinks that he's presenting it as this is a scam job and I wouldn't stop talking about certain stuff over here, so they trying to get me on this over there. Well, but I don't care nothing about that. Did you do it or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your business. Did you do it or not?
He's shown to have very aggressive behavior towards women before. Like, I don't know if you remember that video where he was yelling at homegirl in the hotel lobby or some shit.
I remember that. He does give me the type of energy that, like, if he's seen that going on, he would cuckishly trying to join in instead of being, hey, yo, what's happening?
Because he's definitely not defending anybody.
No, he's not. He's not going to war. We already know what his physical prowess is. It's null and void. It's null and void. We've seen people press him to his face.
Yeah.
And then not go nowhere. So
sure.
I can't imagine he's going to be a knight in shining armor and go stop it.
Especially for that. No.
But then again, I'm not going to blatantly accuse him of something that I didn't see or didn't know happen. But again, I will acknowledge when something don't sound right to me, and his account didn't really add up to me. It wouldn't have been how I would have handled it or nothing that I would have done, in that situation. But I guess we'll see what comes of it. This is the year of the pedo, so year of the diddler,
the year of the exposures.
So I guess we're here where we're talking about diddlers. Might as well talk about Diddy and his snafu.
It's in his name.
Lord have mercy. So yeah, Diddy got caught at I believe it was the Intercontinental Hotel in LA. It's no longer a place. It's closed down some time ago. But back in 2016, where this footage came from, he is seen chasing Cassie through the hotel hallway as she's trying to catch the elevator, hitting her very violently. And then as she's laying on the ground, he kicks her twice. And then there's also a part of the video where she like holed up in the corner and he tossing vases and shit at her.
Didn't he drag her body at one point?
Dragging her back towards the room and shit. Hey, man. If you was one of them niggas in our comments, oh, she just want the money, that's why she settled. You look dumb as shit. I hope. We gonna pin these fucking comments. We going back to that video. We about to make you niggas famous. We're about to make you niggas famous. Insanity. All you niggas that wanted to die on that hill instead of just waiting to see. Like, I think there was always a clear side to be on all this, but y'all wanted to be on the other side. But even if you wanted to be on that side, at least you could do to protect yourself was to wait for some evidence to defend yourself with. You niggas, just like you do, head first.
I believe there's going to, at some point, be more evidence.
It's worse. Because you got to think, man. Number one, I think this video came out because of Christian Combs. Because of King Combs.
Yeah.
And then number two, we have to remember that they raided his residences. Mm-hmm. You can't just go raid his evidence, commandeer his property without getting a warrant. The threshold for the warrant has to be some sort of evidence, something that needs to be followed up on. There is some sort of evidence that the feds have on Diddy that allowed them to do that in the first place. I'm not saying it's a smoking gun. I'm not saying it's convictable. I'm saying they have enough to inquire. They have enough for a judge to sign a letter for a warrant. And furthermore, I think they were the ones that leaked this case because they already knew it was out of the statute of limitations. Otherwise, he'd already been arrested for this if they had it, right?
But public perception is going to be
public crazy. Perception is going to continue to put pressure on this man, which might lead him to make more mistakes
and allow more people to step forward in any cases that they might have against him.
Yep.
So, Diddy's a huge piece of shit for what he did in that video, man. Like, and then the apology was crazy too. Like, he didn't even mention her when he said, "I'm sorry." Like,
man, look how we got here. When the lawsuit first broke and he settled, it's "I'm still standing." Yeah. He was crazy. Elton John in it.
Yeah.
Now we making apologies. Oh, he talk about feeling the heat in just a matter of months. Just a matter of a few months.
Looked like he was in Bali or some shit.
Yeah, he out there with Russell. Yeah, they chilling.
Crazy. Yeah, to not acknowledge her during the apology when that's the person you did the dirt to, crazy. Fuck your apology.
I believe all of it now.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe all of it now. Meek got bent over. Usher got bent over. Bieber, allegedly. Bieber be on his knees servicing the hip hop community, allegedly.
And Odell,
allegedly. I believe the Christopher Williams stuff. I believe he had Christopher Williams in there on his knees, allegedly. I opened up the investigation into Kim Porter. Can't wait to hear what Albie Shore has to say.
Sure.
Can't wait for what Albie has to say.
Yeah.
Because he can't stop him now. He cannot stop him now. Got too much shit going on.
Homeboy who had the lawsuit, Rodney.
Lil Rod.
Yeah, Lil Rod. Apparently took Universal and the other record label off of the lawsuit.
Oh, he got paid.
Just throwing that out there too.
This sounds like they cutting Diddy loose. So, first thing is they raid his houses, right? Now you telling me that Lucy and St. Grange and Universal are off the hook.
Which is crazy.
Which means they're probably not going to be shooting any attention Clive Davis's way either. Mm-hmm. And so now they're in the phase of tarnishing his public perception. This sounds like they cutting Diddy loose.
I'm so glad
you literally sounds like they cutting Diddy loose. And the only thing, oh man, that is crazy. That's nuts. That is really nuts. Because before he was posturing like he was protected. Now he's posturing like he needs to defend himself.
Yes.
It is completely changed. And that makes a lot of sense if they took Universal off of this thing. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm thinking that what he was attempting to do, Rod, was hold them responsible for what Diddy was doing because that's his handler, that's his bosses, right? But at the same time, you aren't the ones who afflicted me. So yeah, maybe I'll take a check from you, but that nigga gotta go.
Yeah.
He gotta go.
He's gonna be the fall guy after all this.
Ooh-wee.
Which he did his dirt, so.
The only thing he can do to save himself is tell us the truth about Lucien and Clive, bruh. Tell us the truth. Complete the arc. Let us know. Or go down as the fall guy. Be their Epstein. Which you may already be Epstein. But that don't gotta be your legacy. You can come out of this with, I don't think niggas is ever going to accept you back in fully. But maybe you don't got to go down the way you had it right now if you just talk. Because I know he got some shit to tell. I know he has shit to tell.
Yeah, I mean, if you're outing the even bigger than you guys, I don't know if we fully accept him. I mean, the way that No Diddy is caught on.
No. He's not getting back in.
Okay.
But maybe he has a chance to not be the worst of the worst monsters.
Sure. Two things. One, I'm glad you said Clive Davis. I got something that I got to address in my W's and L's that I forgot about. Two, I like what Perp Minded said. He said, I wish they would have gave Dana the same energy.
Man. But see,
like, where was the calling out of Dana
again,
at all?
This is not about the domestic violence of it all.
Sure.
See, if he would have went to court over that, and now that I'm kind of putting all of this into perspective, it makes sense that Cassie went for the money and not the charge. Right? He would have beat that.
Mm-hmm.
He would have beat that. He'd have suppressed the video, or it got lost somehow, because y'all know that's how he get down. And then she'd have been ass out, and then the retribution for charging him would have been even worse.
Yeah.
Going for the money and providing that evidence is probably what got him, or probably got her to pay out.
Yeah, and it started this whole wave of shit hitting him now.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, Dana White should absolutely be getting his just due, but again, white men in America, so what are you going to do?
Yep.
But the only thing that's sicker about Diddy to me is the people that was willing to go up for Diddy. Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe, Stevie J. Oh, Stevie J, I believe you had that white man folded in that pretzel. I'm just waiting for the footage to hit online, boy. I'm just waiting for the footage to hit online. I believe it.
Well, plus we don't have evidence of Dana White doing other shit on top of the domestic violence like we do with Diddy. So,
I won't speak towards Dana White's character, but
not saying he hasn't done anything. I'm just saying there's not like all these stories like there is with Diddy.
Sure. Oh, the people that support him. Floyd fucking Mayweather. So you mean after the video even drops, Floyd, you still gonna get on the internet and tell people that you're not gonna judge him or kick him when he's down. You don't know the real Diddy. But what should I expect from an illiterate man that watches a delinquent beat on his own daughter?
Hey fam, saying nothing is an option.
Like, what should I expect for a man that can't read and won't lift a muscle to defend his own blood?
Facts.
His own blood and flesh.
Yeah. Nope, for sure.
What should you expect? The only correlation I can make is that fucked up people, right, do fucked up shit.
And they band together.
And they support other fucked up people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, reading is fundamental. Make sure your kids know how to read. God damn it.
Tony Robinson said, "Are we trading Travis Kelce for Diddy? Are we letting him have a fade now?"
Travis got to drop old girl before he come over here. He can't bring her. He has to come alone. I'm not saying he got to take old girl back, but he definitely has to come over alone if he coming.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that.
See, Travis had 1 foot in, man. Y'all don't know, y'all not from Ohio. Travis literally had 1 foot in the game. He was there. But, yeah, he went back to his roots.
It was the mustache.
What is it, the sash? That's Diddy, that's Floyd. Oh, last L I got is going out to Shaquille O'Neal. Y'all have heard me call Shaquille O'Neal an absolute flabbergasting liar on the pod a couple of times. But now we're getting into catastrophic levels. He has a podcast. He had Funny Marco on as a guest. Funny Marco was kind of jokingly floating the idea of the NBA being rigged. Shaq doing what Shaq does, plays completely into it and said, no, it is for real. No, I believe you. And tells one of his Shaq stories that probably didn't happen or is told completely out of context to sound like something else. So he tells Funny Marco, yeah, during the what was it, that was 2001 finals where they played Indiana.
I think 01 was the Sixers, I thought.
So then the 2000 finals.
Yeah, I think.
The 2000 finals was Reggie Miller in Indiana.
I might have those two.
Because 02 was the Nets.
Yes.
And then 03-04 was the one we lost to the Pistons.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, it would have been 2000. He's like, at the beginning of the playoffs, I heard Phil told Gary Vitti, book us some hotels in Indiana. And I'm like, Indiana? What are you talking about? And then, lo and behold, we played Indiana in the finals. And he predicted it. He knew the whole time. And then Funny Marco was like, well, maybe, or not the dude that's on the podcast, he was like, well, maybe he just was confident. He was like, I've never, in my years in the NBA, nobody ever booked tickets in the first round to the finals games. Nobody ever did that. Now, as ridiculous as that sounds already, let me give y'all information as to who Gary Vitti was.
The impression was crazy, by the way.
Gary Vitti was the head athletic trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers for like 20 years. So, picture everything Shaq just said, and then add to it that Phil fucking Jackson is asking the head athletic trainer to book tickets for the team. Does that sound like a responsibility for the athletic trainer?
No.
For a fucking doctor?
No.
For a medical physician?
At all. Not at all.
Shaq, fam. Stop this. Stop the lies. Like, it's usually just anecdotal family stories. Mm-hmm. But come on, man.
Go back to making Shannon Sharp diss tracks.
Oh, my God. I forgot all about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's beef over here, cuz.
Jesus Christ. Ooh, that's it. Ooh, hold on. Lean it.
Oh.
Okay.
Funny enough.
Cool.
Funny enough.
Bet.
My first dub is going to Shannon Sharp. I don't know what it is about Shannon Sharp and coming to his platform that gets some of you niggas to say shit that you should not be saying.
Hey, this is the craziest situation. This is wilder than the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Woo.
This shit is wild.
I
don't even know how to make heads or tails of it.
I didn't even expect Kel Mitchell to be the next
crazy ass interview
guest for a Shannon Sharp
podcast.
I
am fully convinced that he screens the content before he brings it on. It ain't no way Kel surprised him with that shit. Because like you said, I wouldn't have thought to have Kel Mitchell on as my next guest.
Yeah. Nope. So Kel gets on there, and forewarning, I didn't see the entire thing, but he's talking about his ex-wife, I believe.
Yes, now ex-wife. Yeah.
And kind of talks about how she got into an affair and she ended up pregnant.
Multiple times.
Which, crazy enough that she got into an affair and got pregnant the first time. He talks about how he went to the hotel and...
Like a very specific story. Like, very detailed. Like,
walked in calm.
He was coming down, going to the car. I seen him. And I was like, well, shit, let's just go up together. And then I seen
let's
her.
go up together.
I'm like... If he created this entire thing in his mind, no, lady, narcissist, that's not the word. Schizophrenic would be the word. Like, he's creating entire situation. That goes beyond just being a narcissist and lying. That man believes what the fuck he's saying.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, he ends up forgiving her for that situation and taking her back. They never got divorced or anything like that. Until then, also, they go to a hospital visit. I guess she was feeling sick or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. And it turns out she is pregnant again by somebody who was definitely not Kel. I was like, bro, how?
And he even mentioned, because this is going to make sense for when we talk about her explanation, right? He even mentions... Oh, you didn't see her videos. Dog, she made like 17 of them.
I seen or I heard that she said something about Nick Cannon.
Nigga, she said a lot. She
That's
said
the
a
only thing
lot.
That's the only
But
thing I heard.
anyways, he mentions her illness that she has. And that's a key point to remember because it's very particular to her when she gives her information. But he mentions her illness, and that's what they were at the doctor for.
Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah,
at
yeah.
that time, they walked in and said, blah, 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 you lost the baby.
Yeah.
According to
They
Kel.
said, they said
According
you
to Kel.
lost the baby. And Kel was like,
What baby?
what?
Because according to him, they wasn't doing nothing.
Doing the do. And sure enough, yeah, she got.
So here's her explanation. Her explanation is she doesn't know what wife Kel is talking about.
Okay.
She has no clue what wife he's talking about. She doesn't know about these abortions. She doesn't know about these pregnancies. What did she say? Kel's a narcissist. He used to beat her when she gets out of the hospital from her sickness because she would be very weak. And she went on and had this big explanation about how narcissists love to get you when you're at your weakest. And that's when I started kind of like floating away from her explanations because it felt more so like she was just trying to disparage the man than explain what was happening. There were no particulars over what he said directly. It was just like, no, he lying, he crazy, he's a narcissist. She said that she caught him with a man. Then she said she caught him with Nick. That's all she said, Nick, in her cheerleading outfit.
Yep.
Then she said he cheated on her with another woman. Then she said that he beat on her, that he didn't want the kids, that he left the kids, is what he said. That he left the kids, didn't take care of them, forgot them for years, or what have you. All kind of crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then the daughter chimes in, the eldest daughter.
Okay.
Right? And so now
I didn't see none of this shit.
I'm starting to get a middle between both of their crazy.
Okay. Yep.
She says that her father wasn't necessarily the main father in her life. There was obviously a stepfather in there. Wanted to take his name because that's who raised her mostly. Right? There was some controversy over the paternity.
Okay.
And I guess that caused some ill will towards her. That lines up to me with what Kel is saying over, I didn't think these kids were mine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It seems like the daughter took that as he's trying to deny me and say that I'm not his kids. Both of those things can be true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Both of those things can absolutely be true.
Yep.
Right? And if they never got to a conclusion on any of that, Kel may still think that y'all aren't his kids.
Yep. And
if
harbor some resentment
and if
towards
your
you.
mother actually was having these affairs, because that is the one thing I did not hear her deny. She denied the pregnancies. She denied the abortions. She did not deny sleeping around on Kel. Unless I missed that in the video. But of all the things that I heard her say, I did not hear her vehemently deny sleeping around on Kel. And if your mom is not telling you that she was sleeping around on your father, and that is the reason why he doesn't think that you and your siblings are his, not to mention, you got a whole nother man that you married to raising the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can't make sense of why a man would get on, even for the clout boost that Kel's about to get off of this interview.
Yeah.
Right? It's not enough for me to tell America that my wife got pregnant three times by 3 different men.
Crazy. While we were married.
I would never
That's
say
crazy.
that. I would never say that. I can't hate her enough to embarrass myself like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is just not something I would make up and fabricate.
And that also doesn't
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say nobody would. I would never.
That doesn't read to a narcissist.
Yeah, she lost me, man. I'm not gonna lie. She really lost me. I didn't give any credit to what she was saying until I heard the daughter. And it seems like there is a middle ground between what old girl's saying and what Kel is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Do I believe the Nick Cannon stuff? And you know what? These Hollywood niggas are weird.
Sure.
These Hollywood niggas are weird. If that's what they into, that's what they into. You're not about to keep trying to destroy black men in my eyes because they may be gay. Gay is not a disqualifier for being a man. And that shouldn't be an automatic whammy to get niggas out of here. Anytime y'all want to disparage somebody or make them look bad in everybody's eyes, specifically about black men, it's something about them being gay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Y'all always love to do that with heterosexual black men. Oh, well, he gay. I caught him with a man.
That's the quickest
Like,
thing.
man.
First thing I think about.
He gay. So, like, I just don't like that automatic. And then the narcissist is the buzzword of the 2020s. Narcissist is the buzzword of the 2020s. When I hear somebody leaning into that too much, I tend to think that you're the one. Like, you are the one.
My second dub and my last dub goes to EA Sports College Football 25. And not just for releasing the trailer, but for releasing the trailer, funny enough, more football nerd talk, releasing the trailer with a clip of Don running past some Buckeyes, which they won the national championship. He is the cover guy, one of the cover guys.
Giving it the Lathan ransom.
So if that's what you're going to put in there, got it. Not even going to hold you. But then the next clip being of Kyle McCord in a Syracuse jersey
beautiful.
Is insane.
But when y'all actually meet Syracuse in the playoff, though, that would be poetic.
You think Syracuse is making playoffs?
Out of the ACC, they get an automatic bid.
You think Syracuse is winning the
They
ACC?
get an automatic. Literally, Clemson and Florida State. If they can beat one of those teams, they'll end up in the ACC championship game. It is literally only Clemson, or I don't believe in Miami, NC State, and I don't believe in North Carolina.
North Carolina don't got Drake May no more, so it's
Virginia could make some noise, maybe.
Okay.
But Syracuse is,
okay.
They got a weak
they're up
conference.
there. Fine.
It ain't no. There's no big dogs out there. Ain't no big dogs out there.
No, for sure.
If you can beat Florida State or Clemson, you'll be in the ACC championship game.
Okay, we'll see.
Louisville's pretty good.
True.
Louisville's pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, the two clips right next to each other, and then there's virtually no Buckeye highlight clips. Despite all of that hate being in the trailer, I still want the fucking game.
Of course you do.
So that's a dub. That's a dub. I'm willing to overlook all the Buckeye bullshit.
I just don't think
the game.
Y'all appreciate where you're at in college football right now, and that's why I said the programs, bro. You're not being honest with
appreciate
yourselves.
Where we are. Like, where are we?
Meaning you haven't had anything to hang your hat on as a program for the last 4 or 5 years. There's really nothing. There's nothing there.
Playoff appearances in.
Yeah, okay, but who's getting allotted in the promotion for a football game for playoff appearances alone? Like winning big time games, winning championship games, winning conference championship games.
So
if you haven't had that in a short period of time, which is what they are determining the most amount of people are going to be paying attention to for this game, then you have to think that maybe we're not going to be at the front of the line for the good takes if we haven't been doing the best.
I'll give you that. No, I'll give you that.
Not to mention, what are the most viewed football games of the last 3 years, Josh? Regular season, not postseason.
The Ohio State Michigan game.
So why wouldn't they have one of the most iconic moments from that game in the league?
I fully expect them to have the Donovan Edwards clip. Y'all can have that. It just is what it is. Like, I got to take that L. But if we're talking about the most successful teams within the last 4 to 5 years, I think I seen a Florida Gators highlight in there somewhere.
No, they was just chomping. They was just doing the chomp.
Well, then give me something for the. Well, actually, you know what? I think they did show.
Oh, they should have had Ryan Day in this.
I hate you so much.
They should have.
Actually, I think they did have Brutus just going like that.
There you go.
So okay, all right. I still want the game. Give me the game. Give me the fucking game. Give it to me now.
That's funny.
All right. I'm giving an L to Cardi B because according to the shit that you just told me, that's insane that she would talk to her fans in that way.
Yeah, so accordingly, apparently, Cardi B was on Spaces, ranting, talking about how we ain't gonna get no album this year. Nah, y'all gonna keep eating off these features and these verses and, and these singles. And y'all gonna get an album when y'all get it, but it's not coming this year. JBP put this in a perfect perspective for me with Cardi B.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B has been in the game since her first album, so it's been 6 years going on 7 years now, right? Cardi B hasn't had a sophomore album. Cardi B has never toured.
That was crazy to me when I heard that.
Cardi B's never toured. I didn't think an artist of her size could survive without touring.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested. I mean, I know she has a lot of those brand deals. She's always selling something. So maybe that's where she's making it up at. Or maybe she's just not money hungry like the rest of these niggas. Like, maybe she's just content with the money that she has. And she doesn't need to be a uber goober billionaire.
But then it's also like, it's not he's saying she's never had a tour like of her own. Like, you just never been out on the road at all.
Never been on the road.
That's crazy.
She's never been on the road, and she hasn't had a sophomore album. So, basically, she's a 7-year new artist.
Yeah.
Which is I've never seen that before.
I haven't either.
Never seen anything like that. And then on the heels of that, like towards the back end of that, to proclaim that, no, y'all not getting what y'all want. I'ma do what I want, as if you're Nicki, as if you're Rihanna, as if you are any of those acts that can take an extended break and live off of projects.
One project.
Right? Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm befuddled. And to bring it all home, her latest single that she got on the radio right now, she's screaming at the top of her lungs, if you scared, then just say that hoe, enough is enough. Well, I'm going to meet Cardi's energy and say the same. If you scared, girl, just say that. Yeah, you ain't got to be in spaces arguing at your fans. Tell people you are scared to death of how people are going to receive that second album. Or scared. And you don't want to flop, so you're not putting out the album.
You're scared of that sophomore slump. For sure.
I get it. You don't want to be Roddy Rich. I understand. Nobody wants to.
I actually like Roddy's second album.
Rap. Well, you in a pool with 6 other kids.
No, sure. For sure.
Is you, Pete, and 3 other people.
Pete's in that list?
I don't know.
The way Pete was arguing yesterday.
I just figured if it was something outrageous, it was some outrageous opinion, he'd be there. Pete.
This one's going to take a while. And it's only going to take a while because I've been trying to avoid talking about this on the pod. Because every time I mention it, it doesn't seem like anybody wants to be receptive to the topic. I'm going to talk about Love is Blind. Because I have to at this point. It's gotten to a point where I have to. I'll tell you why I have to.
Love is blind.
But in order to get there, I got to give you some context of the show. All right? The show basically starts off, season 1, the first episode, damn near, with a white guy who basically falls in love with this black girl.
Okay.
Right? And they eventually marry and become the quintessential poster child couple for the entire show.
Aw, Oreos.
Yeah. And so, all right, that happens. Then I think season 2 happens. A couple of black guys are in there, and they're like the worst people ever on the show. And it just gets to this point where, like, I even told Alex at one point, like, bro, like, I'm not even watching the show no more. They do black people so dirty on the show. Like, there's always like 4 black women that start, but they never see their way to the end. And the black guys are always the shittiest people. They had one season where it was a Nigerian guy with a black woman. Mm-hmm. And you think the whole time, like, the Nigerian guy, he's cool, he's quiet, keeps to himself, he's cool.
Is this the one where he told the girl at the wedding that he didn't want to marry her?
No, I'm going to get to that. Right. Don't jump me.
Okay.
All right. So, the Nigerian guy, he's cool, he's reserved, he's there's nothing about him. We get to after the season, he's cheated on the black girl with at least 2 to 3 white women. Like, going on trips with these white women and everything. Don't care who sees.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we get to season 4. Mm-hmm. Like, I had literally just told Alex, like, I don't know if I'm going to fuck with the show. I'm going to give season 4 a chance, and then that's it. Well, season 4 happens. We get one black guy got with a Hispanic girl. She ends up calling him gay. She ends up fucking.
Jesus.
They end up splitting. She finds another light-skinned black guy who's a piece of shit. Crazy shit.
Damn.
But the saving grace of season 4, older black guy meets and I say older, late 30s, meets an older black woman. They end up becoming essentially the new poster child for the show now.
Nice.
So shout out to Brett and Tiffany. They're like they're the ones now. So now we got black love, we got black excellence coming from the show. Boom. Season 5 was shit. Don't nobody give a shit about season 5. We're just gonna move on past season 5. This past season 6, a black girl is on here. Black girl is cold. Her name is AD. Mm-hmm. Cold. She's dark skinned, got a fat ass. She is bad as fuck. She gets in there. She meets 2 guys. She meets a white guy. His name is Matt. She meets a black guy. His name is Clay. She starts to kind of like Matt, whatever. I'll talk about what happens with them in a second. But she starts to talk to Clay. It's very clear that both of them are black. Like, you can hear it when they're talking to each other. Like, he's like, yo, AD, da, da, da. They're clearly both black and they kind of know each other are black. Cool. I'm thinking, okay, if she can just get past this Matt situation, we got another black couple. Cool. I can rock with this. Matt tells AD something like, I guess AD says, like, my dad's no longer here. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, oh, I wish your dad was here because I'd love to ask him for your hand in marriage. Right? Crazy shit. Mm-hmm. He tells that to another girl. That same shit. He tells that same shit to another white girl.
Fam, use that. Them type ones, you can use that one time.
No.
Like, you can't get caught using
like
on a fucking TV.
Damn near verbatim.
Fam, think of the audacity to know that you are on a television camera.
You know what I mean?
God damn.
So I'm like, cool. It's about to be the black couple. We good. The problem is Clay, the black guy, is kind of a piece of shit too, a little bit, right? Because he's in the pods basically asking her what she looks like. Defeats the whole purpose of Love is Blind, dog. What are you doing? Okay. So because of that, people think Clay is a piece of shit. Then we're going through the processes of everything. He's kind of telling her shit like, oh, this is a great thing. I hope I don't do anything to fuck it up. Like, dog, don't do anything to fuck it up and you'll be perfectly fine. Right? He gets to the marriage. As you know, he gets to the altar. Everything is great. Like, you think, oh, they made it to the wedding. It's up.
It's up, yeah.
He fucking says, no, I can't do it.
You a great girl. You perfect. We're not going to do it right now because I'm not ready. But I'm still rocking with you.
Like, dog, like, everybody's here, bro. Like, we're here. We're here. Just do the thing. So I say all that to say,
I'm still rocking with you is nuts.
I say all that to say that they were supposed to be like the second black couple from Love is Blind. We about to rock with it. We good. But he fucks it up. Mm-hmm. And so because he fucks it up, obviously a lot of black women and black people are pretty heavily invested in the show, but black women are definitely invested in the show because the first couple, then we got the actual black couple, like they're invested in the show. Black women are shitting on Clay. Like, it's just, that's all he gets on Twitter is just shit thrown at him. And so one of the things that people were assuming because he treated her so bad is that there might be a little colorism at play. He might like him light.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of got far down the way.
He did.
Down the way.
He did. So this is just some of the arguments that have been thrown his way. Like, maybe he doesn't like her because of the colorism thing. So
it's crazy to let her slip into a wedding dress and decide that at the altar.
Well, sure, but he kind of did her a little dirty. Okay, so we gotten past all of that, and
there's still more to the story.
I told you it was a lot of context.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying all of this to try to explain how shitty all that was is because this week, when everybody is completely forgotten about that season and everybody's just doing their own thing, Clay ends up a trending topic on Twitter because he's in bed with Selena Powell. If you don't remember Selena Powell, the light-skinned girl who alleges that she cheated with Offset, that she cheated with
that she sucked up the whole
Snoop
Suns
Dogg
team.
Well, that was her friend. But yes.
Her friend alone. I thought she was there. I thought it was a.
Nah, she was just.
Thought it was a group activity.
Nah,
like
but she's a thought and she rolls with a pack of thoughts. In bed with her and doing all sorts of shit. He alleges on the New Rory and Mal podcast of all places that they were just doing TikToks. Nah, dog, you were in bed, you don't have a shirt on, and she's looking at you talking about she needs kids.
I think I know what happened. So on Love and Blind, are they in some remote spot? Or are they allowed to go back out into the world when they're not filming?
No, they don't even have phones. They're in a remote spot.
I know what happened. Okay. I know exactly what happened. Okay. And this is filmed live, like week to week, right? Or it's not previously recorded and then they come back outside type thing.
Nah, it's all done within 3 weeks, I guess. But it's done. It's not live. It's
Okay.
some months before.
What happened was he met Shorty, fell in love. People viewed him on television. When he got out and everybody watched, the hoes was clocking. They started reaching out. He realized what the potential was and said, let me pump the brakes. Let me pump the brakes. And it's like, hey, Mary, this marriage thing isn't for me.
Well, no, because
But I'm still rocking with you.
No, okay. So Selena, like they get married during that, or they're supposed to get married during that 3-week period.
Yeah.
So we don't see that until like 6 months later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But I think he did say she reached out. So like a year later, she reached out to him and
Okay.
Yeah. A real piece of shit. Like don't get accused of colorism because you didn't marry the black girl and then now all of a sudden you're sliding with Selena Powell. That's all I'm saying. It's a long way to get there, but I had to explain why black women hate this nigga so much.
I think you probably could have like chopped that off at the part where we had already talked about the dude walking off from a girl.
No. You know why?
And then been like, he ended up with Selena Powell.
You know why? Because I've been holding in this Love is Blind. I had to get it out. I had to get it out some way. But yeah, no, okay, I've been wanting to talk about Clay for a minute, and I just
free you from reality TV one day. I promise you.
That's like the only show I watch.
Free you,
basically. But yeah, I had to get that off. All right, last thing, last toss up actually, and it's only because you reminded me of Clive Davis. Terence Howard was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh boy.
And he was talking about how
fourth dimensions, no straight lines.
Yeah, he was talking about a lot of crazy shit about that shit. But he was talking about how he had gotten the role of Rhodey.
Ah, yeah, I did see that too. Yeah.
And then Robert Downey was trying for the role and he wasn't sure if he got it or some shit. And so he reached out to Terence Howard because at the time, and he said Clive Davis was like the person that Marvel wanted to go with. And I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, Clive Davis
as
80
Iron Man?
fucking years old.
As Iron Man?
What does he got to do with any of this? He meant Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, yeah, okay, there we go.
But he said Clive Davis. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Is he crazy? Clive Davis is not Iron Man, bro. I don't know what. And he's damn sure not anybody's first choice for Iron Man.
maybe Jarvis.
Right. I'm like, what the fuck does he have to do with this?
And I looked it up and I'm Clive Davis was their first choice.
I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that's actually kind of crazy that Clive Owen was their first choice. That's
fucking funny.
That would not have. I don't think that would have worked. I think he would have been
Owen as Tony Stark.
Over Robert Downey Jr. I think Robert Downey Jr. kind of made Iron Man.
He's got a very thick, like Scottish or Welsh accent. I don't even know how to. It's very thick.
Yeah. Plus, I just don't think he has maybe the sarcastic nature.
Yeah, he's not funny. Like, he's funny in a way that, like, a guy's kicking your ass that'll talk shit to you the whole time is funny. He's not funny as in, like, I'm going to battle you in a battle of wits type funny. You know? I don't know if it would have worked.
Yeah, I agree. But then, basically,
That was a different time of Marvel, though.
For sure. But, yeah, he's basically talking about how he basically helped how he basically helped Robert Downey Jr. get the role, and then Robert Downey Jr. I kind of believe
where
that.
Robert Downey Jr.'s career was pre-Iron Man?
Right. Yeah, but then Robert Downey Jr. didn't return the favor when Marvel was trying to shortball him.
I can also see that because he's the star.
That's the part where
now it's like,
toss up.
Put your neck on the line for me, and I can see it both ways.
And he didn't answer the phone.
I got you here. Now pull me back up with you. But then at the same time, it's like, well, you asking for more money. I'm already taking the cut as the lead on these films to start out. You know what I'm saying? If I'm taking a cut, why don't you take a cut with me so we can both keep doing it? So, like, I understand why Terrence wanted Robert Downey Jr. to stick up and bring him along.
And why Robert Downey Jr. didn't
answer. In the position Robert Downey Jr. was in, boy, that was his, like, if Iron Man didn't hit, we probably wouldn't be looking at the Robert Downey Jr. that we know today.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Right? He'd be closer to Kurt Cobain than he would be to the Robert Downey Jr. that exists today.
Yeah.
So it was very thin ice. Iron Man was a success. They were going to be making more of them. and he can either put all that in jeopardy on the stability and the word of Terrence Howard, and it may have worked out. It very may have well worked out. I'm just saying you gotta have a big set of stones to do something like that, and maybe Robert Downey Jr. ain't having.
When you put it like that, it actually kind of makes sense. Because, like I said, Terrence Howard was up there kind of sounding a little crazy, especially with the whole Clive Davis thing. So maybe I couldn't grasp that
He
thought.
definitely misspoke.
But now that you put it out there like that reads.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
perspectives.
Absolutely. That's all I got. I gave most of my time to fucking Clay from Love is Blind. But, that's it.